Sagittarius, you've got to relax. Look at this tight square aspect. Actually, it's what we call a T-square, commencing on May 1 to this combination of planets here in your 6th house of health and well-being. So this also has to do with your working environment. When you've got these tension-laden aspects, you see these red aspects, these are the square aspects, it shows that you're worried. And also, there may be unexpected developments in your work and your health. It's May 2020. I'm Dadhichi from astrology.com.au. Thanks for your company. Welcome to those of you that are new here. I call this the Oracle Express, a very brief 5 or 6 minute overview, and then I'll direct you to my site where you can get more information on this. It's important to look at the placement of the moon, what we call the lunations each month. Here we see around the 5th, a pleasant enough aspect with the moon moving through Libra in the 11th house. Friendships, social activities, and some satisfaction. The 12th house moon, however, may be a little different for you this month. This is the full moon taking place here and casting its debilitated light, because Scorpio is its weak sign, here on this place of health, hospitals, isolation. If you're starting to feel a little uncomfortable, you need to get some sunlight to lift your energy and your spirits. That's a very, very good thing for you. But here also, because Taurus is ruling your 6th house, just take care with your throat. Try not to get into the extremes of cold and heat, and don't allow drafts to get in while you're sleeping, and that will help ensure against any sort of problems there with health. Of course, social distancing, I'm an advocate of that. I don't know the two differing arguments, but I do know that it's better to err on the side of caution. You don't want to get sick and you don't want to pass it on. 2nd house is transformative this month around the 11th and 12th as the moon swings into its conjunction with this power-laden Jupiter-Pluto combination in your 2nd house. You don't want to be getting into a bun fight over power issues and using money as a leverage, nor do you want other people to be doing that against you. Generally, I think because of the combination here of Mercury, you can see it having just moved here around the 11th, 12th, into the 7th house, where we have the North Node and Venus, that you can have some good times in your relationship. In fact, this North Node acts a lot like Uranus here, in that you can spice things up in your relationship. You may meet unusual people, and you're prepared to take your relationships into a whole new arena. A few issues there was when the moon moves through your 4th house, as you can see here on the 16th, 17th. There's the moon between Mars and Neptune. You may have some ideas as to how you want your family and domestic life to proceed, but ideals are often very different to what the practical reality is. So, expectations versus reality. You've got to find that happy balance through this mid portion of the month. Slightly better period here when the moon transits into this 5th house of romance, love affairs. Mercury, as you can see, gets closer and closer to Venus, and that is generally construed to be a very, very good influence here on the 7th house. 7th house is not just your personal relationships, it has a lot to do with the general public. So if you're communicating with others, you're going to be able to do so in a way that's very, very convincing, very enamoring, and so you should capitalize on that. There we see the entrance of the sun as well into this 7th house. So you can see that there's a huge build-up of energy here around the 22nd, and then the 23rd, this transit of the moon into the new moon stage is also fortified by otherwise bleak Saturn. This stabilizes your feelings. It gives you the opportunity to commence some new pathway with the one you love. It also indicates new methodologies of communicating your ideas to people around you. That is what the new moon is generally construed to be all about. A shift, a movement. Makes you very clever, makes you very, very, I guess, persuasive too, and in a nice way. The 8th house position is a little more serious, and you've got the troublesome aspects here in the 7th house to Mars. And you've got to watch it when these planets, well, this one's past, but you've got the Sun square Mars here that can create a bit of tension and is also injurious. So be careful if you're rushing around, running late for things. You want to make sure that you leave enough time to get to your destination and do it in a comfortable fashion. There's the moon moving up into the top part of your horoscope after the, I don't have my glasses on at the moment, 28th. There it is, sextile aspect. That's nice for getting on the same page with the one you love or your friends. Because, of course, Venus is not just love affairs. In your case, it rules the 11th house, which is your friendships. So there's good collaboration there with your friends. Some problems there as the transit of the Sun starts to hit the orb of Venus. That's a bit of a concern because that can create health troubles, it can create conflicts, it can create troubles generally for those that you consider friends. And then you've got the transit of Mercury into the 8th house, right on the last day of the month. That's an interesting start to the coming month, which we're going to talk about next month. But all in all, I think the main focus for you is on relationships this month, other people, and how you can best utilize those relationships for a win-win, two-way street. We've got the weeklies up now. We've got the monthlies up now. We've got the yearlies and the dailies, all at astrology.com.au. I invite you to come over there, check that out. I invite you to subscribe as well so you know what's going on. And, get my breath, invite you to drop me a line if you have anything that's more of a personal nature, which needs a more detailed look. I'm always here, ready, willing and able to help you. So I look forward to seeing you next month. Take care, stay safe, and be good. Bye-bye now.